All right, today on Bully Talk, we got Spartan Built Bullies. Let them know who you are.
I'm Chase Purdue. I'm the owner and founder of Spartan Built Bullies.
First question, how long have you been involved with the American bully breed?
I bought my first bully in 2006, so about almost 8 years. I've been doing it, just trying to create the best package possible.
What made you get involved with the breed?
I went to my first dog show. I was a junior in high school, and I went down to Alabama, and I just fell in love with the size, the look, the structure, and the way they performed in the ring, their temperament.
What was the first bully that impressed you?
I'd have to say Gargoyle. I seen him in person at the first Atlanta Bully Palooza, and he just blew my mind.
So what's the bloodline you're using on your yard?
Right now, the mixture of Gotti and Razor's Edge. I'm mostly like the outcrosses, 75 Edge, 25 Gotti. I don't want too much Gotti, but mostly the Razor's Edge is my preferred bully.
Who's the main stud on your yard?
Vin Diesel is my main stud in my yard.
Okay. I see you were in the ring showing. Do you consider yourself a breeder, a show handler,
I consider myself a handler and a breeder at once.
Okay. You're also part of the Bully Embassy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the group.
The Bully Embassy, we basically are together with a lot of show quality people. We're all about the dogs. We're all about showing our dogs. We're all about just giving a good insight on all the dogs and what they're really here for, not just to make money, but to really show why we do it.
With so many people coming and going in a bully game, how are you able to maintain in today's economy?
I'd have to say just keep high hopes. Don't ever change because somebody thinks what type of dog you should have. You keep doing your dogs. I mean, everybody's got to have a job. The dogs ain't going to make it for you. Don't try living off your dogs because that's not going to get you anywhere. You can't become a millionaire breeding these dogs. It's more to the animals than it is us. You make a name for them and they'll make a name for you.
What's your thoughts on backyard breeders and puppy millers?
They just need to find a different hobby.
With a lot of big name kennels now going towards Frenchies, do you see yourself getting involved with the Frenchies?
I consider myself getting Frenchies, but also just breeding Frenchies beside breeding with my American bullies. But I only want to do that so I can show a variety of different animals, not just the American bully, but the French bulldog.
You've traveled around the country. What's one of the best venues you've been to, or places that you say, I really had a good time at this?
See, I'm from Ohio, and not just because I'm from Ohio, I have to say this, but there was a show in Ohio at a Eukanuba Training Center, and I'd have to say that's probably the best venue I've been to. Okay.
You had a post talking about, the value of pups. People complain. Explain what's all involved with that process from the time she is pregnant to the time the puppies are born. That there's a lot of money involved in the care of a pregnant bitch and also of the pups. That people that really don't understand why the prices are the way they are.
So like I have people inquiring on puppies and they ask a price and I give them a price and they just think it's outrageous. Well, when it comes down to picking a stud out, when it comes down to the female you've owned, maybe since a puppy or maybe you bought the female, it takes in the time you care for the dogs, the time you take out of your day. Say you work a 9 to 5, you got that, you get off work, you got children, you pick your male, you buy a stud feed. It goes from your AIs, your vet appointments, your progesterones, your ultrasounds, your just basically all around the breeding, but the quality of the dogs is going to come upon the price. When it comes to a price for a dog, you really got to base it on how you bred the dogs and how your decision on getting there. They think because they want a puppy that you're going to get a deal because they're your friends or something, but really it takes so much out of us to do what we're doing and to keep doing it that in the process of all this, there's got to be some money that comes back in to keep the dogs going. I own 13 dogs in my yard, so to keep and maintain 13 dogs, my food bill is more than most people's rent is every month. So to really keep it going and really keep your head in the game and to really keep on site and not lose track of anything is basically for the people that think puppies are cheap, just I guess go to somebody else. Maybe it's not the quality, you know what I mean? You want the quality, you're going to have to pay for it.
When breeding, what are you looking for when you're breeding? Like, what's the thought process behind that?
I'm more or less looking to upgrade. Say I got a Vin Diesel, my main stud Vin Diesel. Say I need to upgrade him. That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for something I want to add in. I'm going to go for something I want to better in my dogs. Maybe it's a movement. Maybe it's a little bit more headpiece or a shorter back. That's basically, I just go about just upgrading and making the dog better than what it is.
Well, what's your ultimate goal in the bully world?
Just produce champions and grand champions and just make a mark for the dogs.
You know, lately it's been the big talk about the pulling of papers from the UKC. What's your thoughts about that?
Stop mixing bulldogs with our American bullies because it's already been done years ago. There ain't no use in doing it now.
Yeah, and plus now there's a home for the American bully.
Yes.
You don't have to rely on the UKC. It's for papers, so I don't understand what's the big deal.
So like you just said, we don't show UKC because we're not allowed to show UKC. They frown upon our animals. So to use UKC is basically, I guess, another way of saying you got your dog's papered, your dog is registered in the registry. Well, that's what we had the ABKC for. We made a name for these dogs years ago, and they did use bulldogs, or maybe they didn't. But now to bring them in, why don't you just breed some bulldogs? Why you got to go ahead and take it out on the American bully?
You're a big supporter of the ABKC. What's your thoughts on other registries out there?
I'll be completely honest. I mean, all power to them. If they want to make a registry, I mean, ABKC I'll show all day, but when it comes to other registries, all power to them and just do what they're doing. It's just sport and the breed, and it's just going to better us, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I say, you know, there's nothing wrong with competition.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, last year there was a big race between Big Papa and Bistro for the #1 spot in the ABKC. With that being said, there's a lot of coverage of dogs that I guess not show ring dogs. Do you see that a lot?
Yes, I do actually. It kind of depends on what they really know and their experience in the dogs and know if it's a show ring dog or if it's not. But they do want to get in the show ring. That's what the dogs are for. That's what we're here for, to show the dogs. It's not about us, it's about the animals. I mean, Bistro and Big Papa are two totally different dogs, but they both performed as much as they possibly could, and they went to as many shows as they could, and they really wanted to do it.
I guess where I was going with that question, because you know Atomic Dog, of course, arguably the biggest name in the bully world as far as the magazine for bullies.
Yes.
But they never graced the cover. Why do you think that is?
Be honest, it's all about the money. It really is. It's all about the money. I mean, I think the Atomic Dog should be about basically the dog that they think should support them that month, or not charging as much money as they do to be on a cover, which if they do, that's fine. Someone wants to add advertisement. But when it comes to a cover, like you said, they need a grace. Big Papa should be on the front of the Atomic Dog magazine, no charge.
Okay. Well, what's up next for your kennels?
We got a lot of things playing this year. I got 4 females. I'm really happy on what's going down. We're going to double up on some Vinny. We're going to triple up on some Heartbreaker. And we're really just going to keep pushing for show quality animals.
Oh, yeah, you got a big breeding with Littles coming up, correct?
Yes, I do. Little's a masterpiece. Little's bred to her half-brother. It's going to be 3 times Denzel, 3 times Heartbreaker up front. No one's ever done it. No one will ever see it. No one will ever duplicate it. It's a one-of-a-kind breeding, and it's going to hit the market. And I'm probably going to keep most of them, but if I don't, they're going to either go overseas or they're going to go straight to a show handler's hands.
Okay. And last question, your thoughts on Denzel?
Denzel, one of my favorite dogs. He produced one of my main studs, one of my foundation males. I think he needs to really come back out and put the beef aside between the ABKC and, you know, the owner of Denzel, and just really come out and show what he's always shown. He put a mark on the dogs. He won nationals. I mean, he's a really well-substanced, put together dog. I mean, he just has what it takes, and I think it's time for him to come back out and show him what he's got.
All right, I appreciate your time today, man.
No problem, man.
Can I get a chance to see a couple of your dogs before we go?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
You gotta give the flash time to build up. You can't hold him down. Stay.
Oh, Jesus. I love the arm shots. He had to have gotten one. He had to have gotten one. He got one.
Spartan Built Bullies right here. The girl Littles. Champion 2 Littles. That's your girl Littles.
All right, my 912, stand up, speed out. You're in the ring, 9 to 12, stand up, speed out. You are in the ring.